Do-rag wisdom, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Y2K 20.08.12 with just 83 days out. Fake Senate impeachment trial, no vindication, no adjudication, no exoneration. Repeat. Congratulations to our next Vice President, Kamala Harris. Hopefully. Music today in the background is called Lizard by King Crimson. I pretend that instead of Sally Yates being questioned by Louisiana Senator, who's ironically named John Kennedy, I'm sitting there. And one of the first questions out of his right-wing sewer is whether or not I despise Donald Trump! The Trumpists are now doing what I knew they would. In the run-up to the most important election in our lives and in the life of our country, the Trumpist Party is attempting to disrupt that extremely important election by conducting a bogus investigation against the investigators who investigated President Trump Putin for allowing the Russians to help him win the Y2K16 election. Kennedy and his ilk hope that their investigation's result will be that October surprise they need to ensure that their sociopathic president gets a second term. In the meantime, the dictator monster is messing with our right to vote by appointing another one of his lackeys to run and to ruin our post office just before Election Day, when most of us will be doing absentee voting because of a pandemic that has, by this writing, murdered 163,000 plus people. The question directed at me is the same as it was to Her Honor, Miss Yates. She chose to answer no to it. Do you despise President Trump? I'm sitting there now. And I say this, and I answer this. And while doing this, I defy Kennedy's time and filibuster my tuchus off in his jag-off face. President who? I begin. First of all, I never called that excuse for a turd president. Second, excuse me, Senator, did you despise President Obama? No? Did Mitch McDumbell despise President Obama? No? Didn't McDumbell promise to make President Obama a one-term president? No? Kennedy keeps trying to reclaim his time, but I continue to shout over him. Senator! Didn't McDumbell despise President Obama so much that he denied him in his last term the constitutional right to appoint a Supreme Court Justice Merrick Garland? No! No! You mean to contend, sir, that the GOP-controlled legislature in President Obama's last term did all in its power to advance the sitting president's agenda? That they did all in their power to work with him for the betterment of our country? Yes? Yes? No, sir. Absolutely no! Do we live in a free country, Senator Kennedy? Don't I have a right to despise Donald Trump as much as I wish to? Republicans seem to think that they alone possess the right to despise a sitting president of the opposing party. Your party, originally GOP, then teabagger, now Trumpist, made President Obama's last term as miserable as possible because of your party's criminal ineptitude and racist hatred. Our government was near paralyzed. If it wasn't for Obama's genius, we would have really been in deep shit. Because we gave your creep plenty of money to burn! 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 Kennedy is still trying to claim his time, but I won't hear it. Assistant Attorney General Yates has the right to deny that she despises Trump. But I can't sit here and say something that I do not feel. You and your ilk, Senator Kennedy, equate the hatred of Donald Trump to conspiracy theory attempts to illegally overthrow him. Ms. Yates is a professional, as I was when I was a teacher. I personally dislike, by the way, most of the bosses, superintendents, and other creeps from above I've had to deal with throughout my life. But this did not stop me from being a professional and doing an honest day's work. Assistant Attorney General Yates was that and much more, you freaking creep! If there are any individuals defying their professional ethics and oaths of office, it is you, your party, and the cancerous tumor fake President Trump that now contaminates our lives. You're goddess damn right I despise the Trump goon. And as a member of the opposition, I myself, by the way, am an independent democratic socialist. I will fight his fascist, traitorous rule until my last breath. And the opposition I've done against your fiend in the past and in the future was and will always be professional and legal. You, Mr. Kennedy, and your party and your president are guilty of everything that you accuse the opposition of. You are corrupt, violent, prevaricators, religious extremists, and totalitarians. And worst of all, you, your party, and the sociopath that leads you are all in league with Vlada shit Putin. You have declared cold civil war on the rest of us, and the rest of us will not stand for it! Kennedy is apoplectic. His face is as red as a ripe tomato. He keeps demanding his time, and I ignore him. And funny, no one stops me. It's as if a miraculous, invisible shield has grown around me. A giant prophylactic, if you will, to keep Kennedy and his clowns from silencing me. I have good reason for despising Trump turd. My hatred for this excuse for a human being began long before he was flushed into our Oval Office. I've lived in New York City for more than 46 years and was extremely familiar with the antics of that creep. He only became president because half the country stayed home and did not vote. And if allowed to remain in office, your leader, Senator Kennedy, will finish the job that Putin assigned him and proceed to burn our Declaration of Independence and our Constitution with its Bill of Rights in public at his cursed Mar-a-Schlocko golfing resort. My ultimate contempt for the fake President goon arises from witnessing his destructive antics firsthand these past 3+ traumatic years. Before I tell you several concrete reasons why I despise President Hiccup, let me begin with his number. This number, 163,000 plus deaths due to Hiccup's criminal dereliction of his duty to protect us before and during the COVID-19 pandemic. And this number will sadly rise until we flush your leader down the toilet of history. To hell with your time, Senator. I have good reasons for despising President Trump. Stop. At least I'm being honest with my feelings, right? At least I'm speaking from my gut, right? Don't you respect that? You respect it from that creep? Right. Temper just like his father. Many reasons for hating Trump Stump. His assault on our constitutional rule of law, including tampering with our post office in order to suppress our vote and calling the press the enemy of the people. See that movie, The Postman, regardless of its bad reviews. It's proving out to be prophetic. Locking children up in cages and scarring them for life. Encouraging foreign influence in our election, especially from Russia, and doing Putin's bidding whenever and however he can. Encouraging police brutality. Attacking peaceful protesters with gas, flash bombs, and low-hovering helicopters, and using unidentified uniformed police to further add to this carnage. Assaulting our planet and denying global climate change. Lying through his toilet bowl mouth whenever and wherever he can. Using those little hands of his, moving them back and forth. Yes. Oh, I'm gonna help. Oh, it's gonna go away. It's gonna go away. It's gonna go away. Yeah. Don't worry. It's gonna disappear. Using those hands as if he's some kind of harmless stage illusionist, instead of the most dangerous president creep we've ever had in our lives. Turning our federal courts and our Justice Department into tools for his own use. Also giving religious extremists access to overturning our secular country and turning it into a theocracy. I can list another 10 reasons I despise President Doofy. 10 more, 10 effing more! But I already have the taste of crap in my mouth. And life being as short as it is, Senator, I would rather spend the time I have not talking about scum! So, you and I are left with this sad fact. You and your totalitarian party despise my President Obama. And now I despise yours. And Putin is quietly waiting for President Whizdink Trump to call off our next election, or mess with it to the point that he triggers a second hot civil war. I won't lie to you, sir. I despise the traitorous, cowardly bully we have in the White House. And I hope to live to vote against Trump-Putin tyranny for the all time, for the survival of the United States of America. We are going to have enough problems with voting as it is, with President Musk's attempt to cripple our post office. We are going to have to prepare for a long, horrific fight this election season, which could spill over into the next year, and people are now being thrown out of their homes, being thrown into the streets, dying by the hundreds and thousands. And all because hypocrites and totalitarian fascists like yourself, Senator Kennedy, who refuse to leave the stench of hate and fear behind. No, Senator! I am not letting you claim your time!